everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Binge Chicks.
Hello.
We are, if it sounds a little echoey, we are in the car right now, recording on our way to see Creed Bratton live.
Woo!
We're
so excited.
Very excited about. He's my personal favorite character on the show. I think he's just hysterical. So, he's obviously from The Office. I guess that would have been important to say.
Right.
He is the quality assurance supervisor.
His Quabity
Ashwins.
Right.
Quabity Ashwins. He is absolutely hysterical. And we're excited.
We're so excited.
So I thought we would start this episode talking about The Office and what it is. And it's follows the employees of a small paper company in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And it's kind of a documentary style where they break the fourth wall, they talk to the camera. I feel like most people have seen this.
I do, but I know people that have not as well. So I don't get it because I've probably watched it 9 times all the way through, but it is possible. Some people have not watched it yet. It's amazing. I suggest.
If you haven't watched it, you should. I know people that are watching it for the first time, and it still amazes me that there's anyone that hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
And I know I wanted to talk about this later on. But I do think for people, it's a lot harder for people to watch it now, just because it's not exactly PC.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I know a lot of people starting it now, you have to just take the characters as they are.
Right.
Michael Scott is meant to be irritating as all get out and the most heartwarming character at the same time.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you have to just get over that. So if you haven't watched it, get over the fact that Michael is offensive and ignorant, and he gets his. I feel like enough characters give it right back to him.
Yep.
So I feel like Michael Scott, we just talked about Michael Scott, and he is the core of the show at the beginning.
Sure is.
With Jim, Pam, Dwight. Those are kind of the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
I love Michael. I think he's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
He's over the top.
Yep.
I think he has some of the best relationships on television.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the anchor. He's the reason why most of those relationships happen, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, for everyone in The Office.
Right.
He, sometimes without trying, he considers himself their father.
Yeah.
Which is hysterical. And they are his family that he pays.
Right.
But he considers himself to be their father, and I think he genuinely believes that.
Yep. That's for sure.
I do think that his relationship with Dwight, Jim, Pam, kind of the core characters at the beginning are the main characters. By the end of the show, I feel like all the characters are main characters.
Yeah.
You kind of start off not super invested in all of them.
Right.
But then as they go on, they all become important. They
Very
all
true.
get their own kind of storylines. They get their own importance.
Yep.
Which I think is really cool.
Yep, definitely.
Sorry, I'm reading notes with a flashlight in the car. So if I take a couple little pauses, it's because I'm trying to make sure I'm not skipping anything.
Right, articulating
what we want to say. I kind of touched on the fact that Michael isn't PC, and he's really not. And you think if that was a modern workplace today, he'd be in jail.
He would 100% be in jail. I mean, they've talked about doing reunions and stuff like that, and that's like the number one thing he says, right?
I actually have a quote from Steve Carell.
Right.
In here. Somewhere. It's somewhere in here.
Right.
But
the gist
of it is that it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Michael wouldn't work because he is so over the top offensive. He's so like the definition of sexual. I think one of the first episodes is diversity.
Yeah.
In season 1.
Oh my god.
One of the first episodes is Diversity Day because of him.
Yeah.
So he's just...
Well, they try to do it normal. Like, a guy actually comes in and does Diversity Day. Like, and he tries to do it as corporate would do it. And then Michael takes over, and it's just, it explodes into everyone wearing an index card on their face with a different nationality.
Perpetuating stereotypes
Yes.
of said nationality.
Trying to get each other to guess what nationality they are by what accents they do.
What offensive things they say. Anything derogatory. I mean, he goes full.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Offensive.
Yeah, Kelly ends up slapping him in the face, so that's...
Which is awesome.
It's amazing.
And he deserves it.
He does. He 100% does.
And at the same time, I don't know a single person that doesn't, even if it's like a twisted, deep down love Michael Scott.
Absolutely.
You can't watch the show without loving Michael. He is... Like, the episode that I always go to is the Halloween episode where he has to fire Devin.
Yeah.
And it's in season 1. It's hysterical. He's going to fire Creed, who we're going to see tonight.
Woo!
But instead of firing Creed, he fires Devin. And Devin invites everyone in the office but Michael and Creed to go to Poor Richard's, the bar.
Right.
That everyone goes to on the show. At the end of the episode, it shows Michael giving out candy to the kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though he was the biggest ass the whole episode,
Yep.
he's like, you just want to hug him, giving candy to the kids.
Yep.
At his condo.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can psychoanalyze Michael all day long. You can tell he uses humor as kind of his safety bubble, because he grew up and didn't really have people. He didn't have friends and stuff like that. So now he's a manager of an office, and he uses his humor to try to like get people to come together. But his humor is super offensive, so
I think
he comes off the wrong way sometimes.
Best episodes is when everyone was, I think they were freaking out about budget cuts or the closure. I'm not sure, I'd have to look it up, but he gets everyone to hate him, and then they're all working together. And it's such a sweet moment where like
self-sacrifice.
He totally knew what he was doing, and I love it.
Yeah.
On the topic of Michael, I feel like we can't talk about Michael without talking about Carol, Jan, Holly, the women he dated.
Absolutely.
Donna, but I don't like Donna.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Donna. I feel like Michael and Jan, I've said this before, are my favorite couple. Yeah. I think they're amazing. They're dysfunctional. And
so bad.
They're the worst.
Yep.
But they are hysterical. And that is my favorite episode, is Dinner Party.
Oh, Dinner Party.
That is...
A lot of people that have never seen the show know about Dinner Party, I feel like.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. It is classic of all those characters. It's like everyone is at their best.
Yeah. So many good moments in that episode. My God.
So, question: who is your favorite person Michael dated?
Holly, all day long. Yeah, I know you love Jan.
I think Holly's the right person that he married.
Holly is the correct one. I just like the way that they know each other.
Oh yeah.
Before even knowing each other, they knew each other's humor and like were each other.
They are each other.
Right.
She is the female Michael Scott.
And it's amazing. And it's so cool how they ended up coming together.
Now, who is the most entertaining person, do you think, that Michael dated?
Most entertaining? Oh, God. Well, obviously, for us, it's Jan.
I would say Jan in a heartbeat.
She's such a mess. She's a train wreck, so you love watching that. And she can sing. She loves to sing.
And inappropriate songs.
Yes.
And who is the worst? I'm going to answer that for you. It's Donna. Donna is the worst because she was married and was having an affair with Michael,
Donna.
and he adored her.
Yeah.
And she just didn't deserve him.
She tried to get paper out of him first.
She did. She was trying to get, there's printers.
With her boobs.
She was trying to get printers for the bar that she worked at.
You got it. Oh yeah, printers. That's right.
So speaking of couples, my other favorite couple, personally, we're going to get into this next episode. Yeah. The Jim and Pam debate, but my favorite couple is Dwight and Angela. Yeah. I think Dwight and Angela are just, they are couple goals.
Yep.
They have some level of dysfunction, but they're, if you look at like Michael and Holly are just a match, they fit together. Dwight and Angela fit together.
Absolutely. They make a story they have.
So much sense. And I've said from the beginning, Dwight Schrute carried that whole show on his back. Rainn Wilson, really, but
you got it.
He is quite he's like a character. I think that's what makes him so funny.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
this over-the-top, ridiculous. Seth Rogen read for his role, and it would have ruined the show.
Never. No,
I love
no,
Seth
no, no.
Rogen. He is not Dwight.
He is not Dwight Schrute.
No way in hell. And I love whenever Pam and Dwight have a really good friendship.
Yeah.
And he calls her in the finale his very best friend.
Yeah, and that's crazy
Which
awesome.
always makes me cry.
Ugh.
Their friendship is my favorite, more than Jim and Dwight. I like Pam and Dwight. Whenever either of them are having any kind of relationship or personal issues, they're always in a weird way there for each other.
Absolutely.
Which I love. When Dwight walks in on Pam crying because Jim is with Karen and she's upset, and he immediately is like, who did this to you?
Yes.
Like he's gonna fight
protective
them.
mode.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
love it. And I love Angela. I know people that don't like that, they find Angela to be harsh. I love Angela.
Yep.
And they broke up because Dwight mercy killed one of her cats.
Yeah.
Can you name that cat?
Oh, it's Sprinkles.
Of course it is.
Of course it's
now,
Sprinkles.
can you name 3 more of Angela's cats?
Oh, jeez. That's tricky. Lady?
Princess Lady, but I'll give it to you.
Princess Lady, thank you.
Yep.
Oh my god, the one they throw into the ceiling.
Yeah, there's an
panic
easier one.
day.
Think her son. He's named after, the senator's favorite cat.
Oh my god.
That
awesome.
Oscar then takes because the Oscar is having an affair with the senator.
Right.
Which is awesome.
The cat, yep.
So,
Bandit,
yes,
Bandit.
Save Bandit.
Yeah, save Bandit. That's what I always get.
So back to Dwight. One of my favorite moments, and I have, let's talk about our favorite moments.
Of course.
Is when Dwight finally becomes regional manager. Because that is his driving force.
My god.
The entire show.
Yeah.
That moment when he becomes manager, every time.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
He's like, wait, can you say that again? It really is. It was his only goal.
That was it.
The entire time.
He fell in love while this was happening.
You got it.
That wasn't his main priority.
Yeah.
Selling paper was his
and being the best.
essence, and being the best.
Greatest. Yep.
The best salesman, which he was.
Yep, absolutely.
I already skipped over this. Oh, trivia question.
Yay!
In the pilot, who was having their very first day? Was it A, Jim,
Okay.
B, Ryan, C, Michael, D, Devin?
I think it was Ryan,
Yes.
right? It was his first temp day.
Ding, ding, ding. I feel like I need a ding sound for when you get them right.
Right?
Yay!
Like a crowd. Yeah.
Next week we'll get more into Jim, Pam, our favorite episodes, and what we thought of the series finale. But right now, we really need to talk about Creed Bratton because we are on our way to see him. We are on our way to see Creed Bratton, and I have had butterflies all day.
I know, me too.
Every time I thought about being in the same room as him, I just get and I'm kind of like this with TV shows. It's not the main character. Obviously it would be so cool to meet Jennifer, but it's those side characters that you just love that just get me so excited.
I mean, he says 3 words, maybe
an episode.
Yeah, if that.
Always bangers. They're
Oh my god, he has the
just
greatest lines in the entire show. Some of the most memorable lines are Creed, so it's just so good.
All my top 3 episodes actually include
They
include Creed. But the best is Product Recall. That's one of my top 3 episodes.
Yep.
Product Recall, there is a disgruntled employee at the paper mill, and they put a watermark on all the paper being sent out with 2 beloved cartoon characters in a compromising position.
That's exactly what they say. That's really funny.
And Creed is the quality assurance supervisor, and he should have been doing quality checks to catch this.
Right.
So he sets out and finds out who wasn't there last week, and it's Debbie Brown. Debbie Brown was sick. And so he tells everyone, I was supposed to meet with Debbie Brown, and she was supposedly sick, or a dentist appointment or something.
Okay, right.
And so Creed ends up kind of spinning this whole web of how it's all Debbie Brown's fault. And in the end, Debbie Brown gets fired for it.
And then he collects
a donation
to send down to her in a card.
And he pockets it.
And then he puts it right in his pocket.
Which is awesome.
Because it's so Creed.
That's so Creed.
Yeah.
Then you have Casino Night when he wins the mini fridge by cheating. He cheated the whole time. And he goes up to get the fridge and he says, "Thanks, man. I've never owned a fridge before." And like, it's just everything he says is gold.
I know.
My other favorite is the chair, when Michael falls in love with the chair model.
Right.
And Creed says in his little cutaway, once Michael gets a new chair, Pam gets his old chair. When Pam gets Michael's chair, I get Pam's old chair.
Yes.
Then I'll have 2 chairs, only 1 more to go. Like, they never explain what any of this means.
Only 1 more to go.
But you're like, oh, okay, great.
Oh my God.
But he's like, the Taliban's the worst. Great heroin, though.
Oh my God, right.
Like, he's just absolutely hysterical. And when they have Bring Your Daughter to Work Day.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to get you to watch the show here. We're just...
Of course, my God.
If you haven't seen the show, this is going to all sound like nonsense, so watch it and you'll know. When Michael brings the kids over and he's like, and this is Creed, and he does something here, and it's his little cutaway, and he's like, what do I do here? What do I do here?
Right.
Quabbity,
it's
quabbity
like
ashwins. Quabbity ashwins. Which is just, he's just funny. He's just pure humor. And the actor who plays Creed Bratton is Creed Bratton. I don't know, if you don't know that, it might sound like we're only talking about a character.
Right,
but
actually.
that is Creed Bratton. A lot of the stuff that, the characteristics of Creed Bratton are true of real life Creed Bratton. So in the show, he talks about how he toured with the band The Grassroots in the 60s.
Yeah.
Real life Creed Bratton toured with he was in the Grassroots in the 60s, so that's true for him.
Genuine musician.
On the show, it's a trivia question.
Go.
What is the name Creed uses when he declares bankruptcy?
Oh, man, that's a deep cut. I actually don't know that one.
William Charles Schneider.
Oh, okay.
Which is real life Creed Bratton's name at birth. That was his real name.
What? Why did he change it? Do we know?
There's just something so sexy about the name Creed Bratton.
Well,
so
obviously. There's no other word I would use to describe him at all.
Why wouldn't you use that name?
Oh my God.
So, I don't know. The Office is a great show.
Yep.
You should definitely watch it.
Absolutely.
I have more notes for next week. I guess we can tap into those.
Sure we can.
I was very excited writing this, knowing that we were going to see him.
Right.
So, that's all about the show. The live show.
Man.
So what's your favorite episode? Let's just jump into that. Why not?
Ooh-wee. All right. Favorite scenes. I have a hard time with the episode.
Okay.
Because there's so many moments in between. But I have 2 big ones that stick out to me. What is the name of it? I don't remember, but it's the CPR episode.
Yes.
But it's Panic or something too, right? It's like a 2-part thing.
It's a 2-part episode.
Where, Stanley ends up having a heart attack in one of them, and then the next one, they have to do CPR training because nobody knew what to do with him when he was lying on the ground, lifeless. But it is the greatest freaking scene from start to finish when she's trying to be serious and teach them how to use this dummy, and she's like, you pump to the song Staying Alive, and just absolutely everything gets completely destroyed and nothing goes right, and Kelly's dancing and Andy's singing, and it's just like absolutely nuts.
And it all starts with Michael. She says Staying Alive, and so first I was afraid, I was petrified.
That's
She's
right.
like, nope, Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
Right.
I can't sing, so I'm not going to attempt that, but...
Well, she couldn't either.
She couldn't either.
No.
It works.
Yeah, it does.
But the best part is Stanley's heart attack was started by Dwight deciding that none of them could follow safety procedure,
right.
So he started a fire in the office. That's the Save Bandit.
And then lit, like heated up every doorknob.
Yep.
And everything was like blocked, so they were all completely panicking, and it's fantastic. But that's one of my favorite scenes. And I'd have to go next to the part where Jim finally asks Pam out on a date. I know we have problems. There's so many complications between Jim and Pam.
Oh yeah.
To me, they're not perfect, and
absolutely
a lot of people put them on a pedestal. But
no, it's an awesome
that
moment.
freaking scene where he's like, "Do you have dinner plans or whatever?" And he's like, "All right, it's a date." And her face,
and she totally loses track of what she was saying.
Lights up. Oh my God. And the tears in her eyes. It's so genuine and so good, because she was in a really bad relationship before that. So she finally gets this moment, and it's like amazing. So.
And she thought she was going to lose him. He was potentially moving to New York because of a job at corporate.
Yep. And Karen.
With Karen. I actually wanted to talk about Karen, because if you actually look at Karen,
right, she's
pretty awesome.
She is awesome.
But her biggest fault is that she's not Pam.
You got it.
And I feel like she gets so much shit. Can I say shit? Is that?
Sure. It's our podcast.
She gets
absolutely
so much shit for not being Pam. And I genuinely think she tries. She tries really hard with Jim. She tries really hard with everyone in the office to fit in. And she just continually gets, like, shut down by everyone.
She got thrown into a meme where the chum bucket was her and the Krusty Krab was Pam.
Which is so true.
It is actually.
It's so true. She's actually, like, she works really hard.
Yep.
She's an awesome salesperson. She moved up the company really quickly.
Yeah, she's really funny.
She's funny.
She's genuinely funny.
She's very funny. She had some really good one-liners on the show.
Yep.
None that I can think of right now, but she had some good ones.
They're quick. Hers are always like mixed in.
Oh yeah.
Really. Easily.
No, I liked Karen. And that kind of goes into something we've always talked about, which is how the show, we love the show. I feel like I need to preface this comment with we love the show.
We're extremely,
They did the women of the office dirty.
Yes.
And I can hear the male groan happening right now. Like you're just complaining.
Maybe
but
not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully if you're listening, you'll agree with us that the women of the office deserved so much better. The only ones that were successful professionally, the ones that they portrayed as professionally successful, Jan and Karen. Karen was portrayed to be a bitch.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yep.
She was portrayed to be just a flat out, we hate her.
Yeah, and Jan was portrayed to be absolutely sicko.
And couldn't be loved. That was the biggest thing that, like, it perpetuated the stereotype of you can't have it all. And I think nowadays you can. You can work hard to have it all.
You got it.
Karen was awesome. Meredith revealed at the end that she got her PhD in child psychology. Was it child psychology? I think it was. I actually wrote it down.
That's awesome.
Her PhD in school psychology at night. And in the end, they have her doing yoga. That was her big transformation.
Yeah.
I was so hoping when I first watched that she was going to pull up in, like, her,
Rolls
Audi.
Or something.
And be like, oh, yeah, I'm the superintendent now. Like, what of it?
Yeah.
But no, she does yoga and wears a ponytail. Because that's the big transformation.
Right.
And then you have Angela, which, Angela got the guy. She got Dwight. I don't think I ever pictured her stepping down from her. She was so proud of her role as head of accounting.
Yep.
And as the female head, she mentions it a lot, that I'm the only female department head at this company outside of Kelly. And just that she just kind of, bye, done.
Yeah, and then they have that rap session where Jan pulls all the women into a room, in the conference room, and she tries to get them to, like, tell her what their dreams are.
And they talk about shopping.
And they're talking about shopping, and I want a house, and I want to get married, and, like, I just don't believe that.
I don't see any of them. Not that there's anything wrong with talking about shopping.
Oh my God! Or getting a house,
or getting a house, and getting married.
Right.
That's amazing.
But she was trying to get them to be like, what are your professional
goals?
Yeah.
And I think, like, even Phyllis is a badass saleswoman.
Hell yeah, she is.
Knows how to work it.
Yep.
There were so many moments where they could have done so much with the female characters.
Right.
And then, so if you look at what they did with the male characters, you have Oscars running for Senate, or Congress, Senate.
Right.
You have Dwight running his own farm, running Dunder Mifflin.
You got it.
You have Jim's leaving to go run athlete, whatever they called it in the end.
That's right. They did change it. That's true.
Living, like, Pam said she was never leaving Scranton. Oh, Pam. They send her to art school and she fails.
She's the one that's just so heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking because
they give Jim everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
They give him everything.
And then they make her look bad for, like, wishing she had something for herself.
Absolutely. Like, that they basically said being a mother and married to Jim should be enough. Like, why do you want more?
Yeah.
And, she painted a mural. That was her big thing. Come on.
And then somebody drew butts on it.
And then someone drew butts on it.
Which is just sad.
And that, I mean, it's a lot, and we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
We discuss how the women were done dirty in the end.
Absolutely.
And I think had it been written today, I think it would have looked a lot different.
Yep.
I think had it been 10 years later, it would have been a much different
they would have all been
conversation.
Right. Even playing field with the guys. Hopefully.
Absolutely. I mean, even Jo Bennett, she's super powerful.
Right, and she doesn't come in until later either.
She talks about how her husband's like all left, like they make her that unlovable, like she put work before everything else.
Right, absolutely.
And it sucks.
Yep.
It sucks.
Definitely.
I do love Erin's ending, I have to say, finding her parents.
Yeah,
and
God.
Dumping Andy. We haven't even, I mean, that's like a whole episode in itself because I can't stand Andy.
Right.
Yeah. Every nerve he gets on. But I love Erin, and I love when she goes to break up with Andy and he says, if I'm happy, then someday maybe you'll be happy.
I'm not going there.
And that will make me happy.
Yep.
And so she walks outside and tells Pete I couldn't do it. And Pete's like, well, that's okay. I just want you to be happy.
Yeah, right.
And she kisses him and runs inside and blows Andy's cover for being on a boat for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to jump in the screen and go, in your face.
Yep. And Erin was such an underdog. Like, we never ever thought that she would be that person, and she grew.
And I
so
almost
much.
wonder if she was intended to be that. Like, was she ever intended to be as big of a character as she was?
I don't know, right? Maybe it just naturally happened that way.
How often do they bring characters in that people hate? Like Nellie. I love Nellie.
Yeah.
I think Nellie's awesome. She's hysterical. So many people hate Nellie.
I know.
Which easily could have happened with Erin. I don't know anyone that doesn't like Erin.
I know, that's true.
She's just the most endearing. So in the finale, she talks a lot about growing up in foster care, and at one point they think maybe Phyllis is her mother.
Yeah.
She's not, but it's really sweet. They still have a really close bond in spite of not being mother-daughter. And in the end, Joan Cusack, and what's his name? Ted Danson comes to mind.
Yeah,
but it's not Ted Danson.
I know, because he looks like him. He has the white hair and stuff.
Totally looks like him, but it's Joan Cusack, and is it Joan Cusack? Yeah.
Yes.
It shows up
her.
at a panel when they're airing the documentary The Office, and she asks Erin, don't you hate your mother? Don't you hate her for giving you up? And she says, I could never hate her. She's my mother.
Yeah.
And then everyone else catches on to the fact that, Erin, this is your mother. But not Erin. She does not catch on. Maybe. Well, this is actually really good timing.
Yeah, we got here.
We are here.
We did it.
We are super freaking excited.
So pumped.
And how do we use this?
We don't.
Well, we are going to go watch Creed Bratton and scream a little bit, maybe.
Yep.
And just general excitement. And next week, you can tune in and listen to how it went and our recap.
Yes.
And
can't wait to tell you all about it, because I'm sure it's going to be extremely entertaining.
I think so. And hopefully we'll have a picture with him.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. I have it in my head that we need a picture with him.
I'm a little nervous.
I have too. I'm nervous to meet him.
We're both very awkward when we meet celebrities, as you found out in episode 1.
My fear is I'm going to walk up to him and go, Bobati! And if you've seen The Office, you'll know what it means. If not, start binging.
Yes,
and
please.
Binge on. Have a great night.
Later, friends.